Hello, hello everyone. I have Nicola with me tonight, which is great, and a couple of you couldn't make it, so hopefully you get to watch this on the replay. And hopefully some of the things that you sent me on your emails will come up. And I think it's going to be a little bit of a hodgepodge tonight. Are you cool with that, Nicola? Because I've got content here. I just think, I get the impression that even the other two were suggesting if we could maybe look at things a little bit more specifically around each of your social media. So I just think that that might be a positive. Let me just start with a little bit of a going, what do you call it when you go back over things? Recall? No, that's not the word I'm looking for. It is late at night for me. 7 o'clock is just a long night. No, I just lost, I had my pieces of paper that were here to summarize what we did. No, just give me 2 seconds. I am going to find it because here it is. It's all here. I don't have enough space on my desk. Okay, so we looked at last night in our first session, we talked about how you minimize the demands of your social media, and we went through all different things around that, 3 to 4 times. How you increase your reach. We talked, sorry, that was in the next part, why are you on social media? Sorry, we went to awareness and the connection. We talked about resourcing people and educating people, creating brand awareness, and that's consistent with your values, as well as inspiring others to engage with you. We talked about reach, engagements, click-through, sales, and then we pretty much left it at the point when we went through purpose of your social media presence. That's right. We left it at those 3 questions, talking about telling us what about your business, why in 1 minute, defining your 5 core values, and describing your vibe and your feel of your social Facebook social page. Nicola, do you want to, you're the only one here, do you want to tell us a little bit about your vibe? Because I reckon that's a good place to start.
Oh, sure. I'll just go and see what I wrote, actually.
Yeah, I know. I've got yours here.
Okay.
You had
the vibe, the last one. Okay. So I just basically said the strong primary colors of green, red, and yellow.
Yes.
My packaging is black, and black label with silver, a silver packaging, a silver bag. So I get that to flow through the social media as much as possible. The reason I chose it was just, I suppose, a premium color being black, sometimes smart, smart color.
Sure.
And yeah,
so what's the vibe? You've written here, are you all right if I read it out loud?
Yeah, you can go for it.
You've written here, it's a light-hearted, informal tone. And because obviously you're doing, pet food, you've got dogs and cat emojis, fun dog and cat images, and videos. You use videos, which is great. So there's a sense of lightness about what you're presenting, which almost lets you off the hook a bit, doesn't it?
Well, I started off writing, and I found myself a bit too formal.
Okay.
And so I tried to bring in a little bit of informal tone. And there's one business in particular that uses a very informal tone. And to me, it's too much.
Okay.
It's too much, not slang, but real, I suppose it's a type of slang, actually. It's just overboard, and it can be difficult to read. So I just wanted to go somewhere in between. And it's not me. This tone I think I'm finding now is getting to what I want, just to make it fun to read.
Good, because if you've recognized that every time you go to do a post, and we talk about making them engaging, you've already got this value for fun. It's almost a light-hearted look at something that's quite serious. Like, you are providing, this amazing supplement for animals in their time of need, as well as not, isn't it? Because your product is for their whole diet. It's not
Yeah.
It's not just when they're sick, although that's great. It's also for when they're just snacking, right? Just treats and
that's right, when they're healthy.
Training. Can you use it for training as well? Training your dogs at least?
Well, it's not like a normal treat where you break off a piece
Yes.
and give it to them. But sure, I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to try and do that, it's yeah. I haven't thought of doing it like that.
No.
Because that's a different area, I suppose. The treats that you give during training.
Yes. It is a different area, and if you can't answer that emphatically now, then it's not part of your lineup at this point, right? It may well be something you could go into later on, I guess, but right, that's an easy one, and obviously we were talking before we started the recording when you were mentioning, you know, with the amount of products that you've got and this whole idea of trying to find a voice that is distinctly yours, unique to you, unique to your product, to your business, to your values. How do you, and your question was, I think, and you can reframe it if you want to, Nicola, how do you niche down on the product so that when you, or the direction that you want to take these products, because there are so many, how do you niche down on that? Does that sound right to you? What I've just said? Do you want to add to that?
Yeah, you mean the message I want to get across? Yeah, it's challenging because there are just different aspects to the product. So is it a treat? Is it a meal enhancer? Do people actually know what a meal enhancer is? It's actually a gravy powder, which turns into gravy. So you know, there's all these different aspects.
Yes.
What do I concentrate on? What do I leave out? What's confusing? Yeah.
So I think one of those things is my suggestion would be that you spend time surveying people, particularly past customers or current and past customers, as well as friends that you've probably offered samples to. And then just a cold market, you know, maybe it's friends on Facebook or Instagram. Can you fill this in for me? I just need 3 questions answered. You know, one of them might be, do you know what a meal enhancer is? Do you understand that this is a real thing for animals? I don't know. The point is that to be able to answer those questions, you need to go out and find the questions that people are asking, as well as what other you know, what else is happening in your industry. It's no good guessing, and that's where that bit of that confusion comes also, is when you are guessing, when you're trying to figure out which direction shall I go. I think that they think this, or I think that they think that. So it would be worth doing that. I think we talked in our last workshop when we talked about askthepublic.com, and yeah, it was Ask the Public, wasn't it, or Answer the Public, answerthepublic.com. Did you have a look at them at all, Nicola? Did you go and look at that?
Not now, but I have looked at it in the past.
Okay.
It's very interesting. It comes up with many options. So I do need to look into that again. So just
and probably
basically
see which
research.
options are coming up the most, right?
Yeah.
And then go with that. And it doesn't matter if you change that later on, but it's probably better to really niche down on one particular aspect. And my advice would be something that just feels comfortable to you as well. Do you know, something that you have experience with using the product? That's one element of it. But even backing it up a little bit more, and I want to say this more generally so that other people listening in later, one of the reasons we asked you to talk about what's your why, what is it that brings you joy about what you do? Because that often can be very much your message about what you're actually doing in your business. So Nicola, I mean, when I say that to you, does something kind of come to the surface really quickly?
Brings me joy. Well, I put it in the email that I want to help dogs and cats live a healthier life by eating healthy treats and food, and I want to bring delicious joy to every meal. So I dogs and cats.
Yeah.
I
lost you then.
Have you got me now?
I'm just going to turn you up a bit. Yep.
Who couldn't eat.
Yeah.
And the feeling of helping one dog, is just, it's amazing. Thank goodness. More than one, I'm ecstatic. Yeah.
So therein, if and often the place where we find joy is also the place that costs us the least in our energy, but gives us the most energy back, the most reward. So when you can find that place in your business, which sounds like pretty clearly, that's that whole element of helping, then therein probably is a very clear message and a direction that you can take your company. It doesn't necessarily, people don't need to know all the information up front about what your products can do or how many products you've got and what your products can do. But what they need to know is that you have this passion for helping animals, and you get such joy from seeing, an animal eating properly again, or back on their food again and getting better and all that stuff. So does that help narrowing down that message a bit?
It does, but I don't want to let go of the other messages.
No, and you don't have to. You don't have to. But that idea of having the one that is your flagship message, then you can pin other things around that. You can support that. But if that's one thing, so someone said to you, and I know you did Kelly's workshop, the first one, right? When she got to that final point that your what may change. This whole business that you're in, it might morph into another element of helping animals. I don't know. Who knows? No one can predict the future. But perhaps it's that first message of helping animals and being kind to animals and being in that place of healing and bringing healing and bringing restoration to animals, or whatever it is. I'm just paraphrasing what I think could be your thing, but that's where the joy is. That's the message, and all these other things will come, or you're able to outline them as that very strong message comes through. It's almost like the coat hanger statement of your business, and then you've got these other things coming off that coat hanger, hang like a mobile, those mobiles that hang in the babies' rooms, and they just hang down. It's almost like that. You've got your pedestal statement, your very foundational statement about what your business is, what it does in terms of the solution it brings, and therefore the joy that solution brings. Does that help? And I'm thinking of Tracy, your business with Spiritual Eyes. You've got this great satisfaction that comes from seeing a lady look at herself, and she's just amazed at the transformation that happens when she puts those glasses on. And who's to know that someone who's been wearing glasses since they were young and has been called names, I don't know, suddenly sees herself with those glasses on, and it's just this beauty that she sees and catches a reflection of herself. And so anyway, so I guess what I'm saying to you, Tracy, is that and I think I read that in some of the things that you wrote about. I'm just going to actually call it up. So where was it? Down the bottom. Yeah, I'm just scrolling through it, Tracy. No, that's just talking about, I don't think you've really answered that part that I was looking for. It'd be easier, but I could chat with you about it. But it's becoming aware of that message, and then not being afraid to absolutely shout it to the winds, and remembering that, people need to know that and that's your point of difference. That's what people come after in your social media. Do you follow anyone on social media very, very closely, Nicola? Someone that you admire, or?
I'm trying to think. There's someone I admire. No, probably the business one. No, it's a variety of dog lovers that I follow.
Anyone outside of your industry? Hey, Tracy, I'll just let you, I'll just unmute Tracy because she'll be here in a minute. There she is.
Hello, so sorry I'm late. I've just got rid of the guy.
That's okay. That's cool. I'm going to come back to you in a minute, Tracy, and I'm going to ask you about about your why. And I want you to be really succinct. So I want you to give me your, I've just been talking with Nicola about this idea, and Nicola, hold that thought, I'm going to come back to you. We've just been talking to Nicola about this idea of having what we call a pedestal statement that summarizes the solution of your business. You know what it is that you bring to the table in terms of a solution. So I'll come to you in a minute, and
Okay.
Nicola, I'll come back to you. What are you saying?
Right. On my personal Instagram, I follow a number of healthy, healthy people or healthy businesses. So I am all about that health. It's a journey that I've been on. Hence, I've got to where it is with pets. But
Right.
yeah, it's health orientated. It's not maybe not people that you know familiar with. Do you need a name, or do you?
No, not at all. Because I guess what I'm saying that is one of the greatest ways that you can learn about social media, or learn about how you want to do social media, is by finding people that are doing it really, really well, and you really respect, and you really resonate with their message and their feel and their vibe, as well as the people that you know are so far away from the way that you want to do your social media. And I actually have one lady in my feed who I keep an eye on. She is achieving amazing things in the industry that I work in, and the way she does it is so opposite to the way I do it. But there are elements of how she does things that I find interesting, and I just go, well, I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. There are some things that she does I could possibly, and I have, put into my social media, just elements, not the whole thing. I haven't tried to emulate her, I haven't tried to copy her, I haven't tried to do anything like that, but they're just aspects of what she's got that I go, ooh, like that. And the other thing about having someone from outside of your industry as well in your feed is for that you really, really like, is just for the ideas. And sometimes we get a lot of confidence from watching somebody else, because you go, far out, if they're doing that, I could do that. I reckon I could do that. So does that make sense, Nicola? Just that idea of, getting some teachers from outside of, my husband's calling me, I don't know why.
You're into rubble.
Yeah, in the kitchen. I've made a very, very nice meal, I must admit. And anyway, aside, I digress. So so that would be one thing I would do, because that will help you frame the message you're giving. And if I go back to that coat hanger idea, Nicola, if the words you've said to me is help, healing, the joy you get from seeing the pet really enjoy the food. So there's your kind of, even you could probably even niche that statement down into a sentence, and then hanging from that, you've got that one thing that you just said to me about your own journey of health influenced you getting into this business with your animal, right? So, there's kind of like a category there that you can speak to in your social media. Can I just go a little bit further and ask you about any other areas? Just see if we can identify maybe one or two more other areas that you can speak to.
Well, not only my health journey, my dog's health journey. That's that one.
Yep.
The other, well, it's a journey, is the Made in Australia aspect.
Oh, great.
For me, that's a strong part of it, because of the quality control in this country. You know what you're getting,
Yes.
and so that's definitely something I would push.
Right. So, and that doesn't have to be even just around your product. Made in Australia is a massive hashtag, and has a huge amount of, things that you could pull from different areas that, that support the message that Australian made for this product. And, a lot of us do. A lot of us really like the idea of buying Australian made. So you know, there's so many aspects of that. So suddenly you've got two significant areas hanging off your coat hanger.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I'm sure there's more.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go to Tracy and ask Tracy. So what was my question to you? Wasn't it about your coat hanger? That's right. Is that what I said? Tracy, you there?
I don't know anything about a coat hanger except I put a jumper on it.
No, what we were saying, sorry, I forgot what I said to you. I forgot the question I actually asked you to think about while I was talking to Nicola.
How did I start my business, I think it was. Did you want me to say what made me start my business? Was it something like that?
No, it's more, it's more what is, if someone were to say to you, put in a sentence, Tracy, why you do what you do, the why, not the what, the why you do what you do in this particular business. Why do you do it? What's that one sentence?
It's pretty easy for me because I love to see people smile when they put on those glasses for the first time. That makes me smile too. And right. It's that simple, is that my work is demonstrated in front of my eyes. It's like I went and gave 2 pairs of glasses out to a lady today, and she's just sent me a text message and said, I am so in love with my glasses. I was dealing with somebody else and I just beamed and he looked at me. I said, I'm sorry, I'm just smiling like a Cheshire cat because I've just got this message and it means the world to me. And that is the whole reason I started my business, is because that is the love of my job.
Great. And so if I was to say to you, there is this, pedestal statement about your business, which is that you love to make women smile.
Yeah.
And that's why I use that coat hanger analogy. And Kelly gave me a hard time about my my analogies last night. With that one, the fruit market was a little bit off, I understand, but I reckon this one's onto it. So from that pedestal statement, what else is in your business that you, and I'm thinking about speaking to in your social media, and I know your social media is really prolific because I've had a look through it. So it's really great. So a lot of it's on point. But what are the other subjects you speak to that have something to do with that smile on every woman's face?
Look, cosmetically, they'll see themselves and feel and be inspired by what they're wearing, and it's important for me that I change their life with a pair of glasses. Is that when they put them on, it's like people say, oh, they're only a pair of glasses. They're not. And it's not just about getting the right frame, it's about customizing the lenses so that they can see more clearly. So it helps them with their job, which also links to bad posture due to wearing the wrong glasses that causes health issues. So with the right frame, the right lenses, it can change the life. And it sounds very dramatic, but it's a fact.
So let me just take you back to the idea of that would be, if there's one word I've got out of there, is the cosmetic change that can happen, which can lead to other physical changes. So there's probably one thing hanging from that coat hanger now is all about the physical change.
Yeah.
What's the next thing that you could speak to?
So there's the physical change as in how they feel. About the look.
And also the look, you just mentioned the ergonomics of it. And
the ergonomics of it, yes.
Yeah, that's all in that physical, you can imagine you could spend lots of time in there. You could draw posts from that. What's another area in your business that's attached to that smile?
As in, do you mean as in mentally? Do you mean
let's go there. Let's talk about what happens inside a woman's mind and inside her heart when she puts those glasses on. We don't have to go there, but I'm saying there could be a huge amount that you could do.
Well, mentally, what I find is it gives them confidence.
Yes.
And that is a game changer, because when they're confident, I had one lady that came to me who bought a pair of glasses. She works in a predominantly male environment, and she said nobody takes her seriously. She wants to walk in there and she wants her eyes to pop. She said, sometimes I feel tired, I look drab. I need a pair of glasses that gives me confidence so I can walk in there with my head held high. And she got the glasses, and we focused on her eyes, because people look at your eyes, so we need to get those to pop. And so she she got them the glasses. She walked into the office, and her message to me was, "Oh my God, oh my God." Everybody, I mean, everybody has asked me, what's different about you? You know, you look so different, and people treat you differently.
That's right.
Okay,
great.
If you
so
are
then what
confident.
you're saying is that confidence that comes from that change in that mental state is a whole nother group of posts. So without having anything to show you, I'm just using my hands here. Your pedestal statement is really, really important, because that is what is the why your business exists. That's the solution that your business brings. And notice it's not about the fact that you make really great, or you supply, or you help women try on really fabulous glasses. No, it's higher than that. It's you make women smile, and that makes you smile. And then from there are all these things that you can bring into your social media that, you know, is not selling.
No.
It's making awareness and making connection for people based around those that act of trying on those glasses. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And Nicola, does that help? Having looked at Tracy's, does that help you with seeing? I mean, we can keep going there, but that's what I'm trying to do, is get you to think about, how do I take my business off this selling platform and make it this relational reach out from my heart, which is all about creating this amazing, you know, what would you call it?
It's for me, and I'll be honest, Nicola, if you're listening, is I was where you was initially, because I had no idea what I was doing. I was just, you know, pussyfooting around. Oh, I've got to be official. I've got to make it look official. And suddenly it hit me. If I was in a store and an optical practice, and I had a client come in, I would talk to them like a normal person. I would tell them about my, you know, one of my kids that has drove me crazy all day, and, you know, and it suddenly hit me that that's what people want to talk about. They want the soap opera. They want to hear you. They want to know what's going on with your life. And so I started writing and posts around, you know, saying silly things like oops, or, you know, oh my God, you know, and that just took me writing like I would talk has changed my profile.
And you said, and when you said the other day, Tracy, that made sense when you said about, you know, telling that story about your husband and all the hits. People are quite curious about relationship. So Nicola, back to you, how does that sound? Does that help in any?
Okay, Tracy, do you want to come and do my posts?
You know, and Nicola, I will say that
she makes a really good point, Nicola. You are, you know, you've got what I'm wanting to get from you, or I want to reflect back to you, so you just have this amazing heart. And I've met you in person. You're a very kind person. And I would love to see some of that coming out in your, you know, like, you know, just in, and that's honestly that whole idea of talking to the camera and talking to that one person on the other side of the camera. If you can make that the goal to get to, that's when you start creating that loyalty, because people start saying, oh wow, I know this lady, I want to deal with her. I want the fact that she cares so much for something that I care a lot about. I want that product.
Okay.
Nicola, my daughter-in-law would love your product. I've just got to tell you that she's got 2 dogs. One of them has got a dietary problem, and she actually makes her own because she can't buy them in the stores. Right. And she would love your products.
And so, you know, when you start getting that confidence about speaking to the other side of the camera, to the person on the other side, it might even just start with interviews. You know, and it doesn't even have to be on you. It can just be you holding the camera on them, if that's what it's going to take, with you talking on the camera. But people want to know real life stories. And I have one friend, and she may well listen to this at some point. Her name's Jen. She's one of the most beautiful humans I've ever met. And she has got the kindest heart towards her dogs. She has rescued dogs, and it's just profound watching her. And she would just listen to you and you know, she would just love your stuff because she makes it all as well. So she'd probably be looking for someone who's already doing it that she can trust. And that's where her big thing is. I've got to find someone that I can trust in order to feed my animals who I esteem higher than children and fiancés and, you know,
babies. Yeah.
The
So,
number one.
Yeah. So that's where, yeah, one of those. So just, I kind of have digressed here, but that's okay. You guys, if anyone got any questions just at this point that we can.
I will say that I'm still working towards videos. I'm not quite there yet, Nicola. So I'm with you when it comes to confidence on videos, because I just go all gaga. So I'm building my confidence up by doing the posts and writing the posts like I talk.
Great.
And that it's just it's baby steps for me, but it is a way forward. Once you've cracked that, then you know I feel like I've been a guest speaker today at Your Colours. Yeah, I had to breathe at the end, which but there was no camera on me, so that was helpful. But and I have to, it's almost like a training program into your mind that just be yourself. Be the kind-hearted person that you are, and be if you're passionate about your product, which I can hear that in Nicola, then that's the way to go. Show your passion.
And also, sorry, Nicola, you talk, because I know you were going to say something just before.
Thanks, Tracy. No, I appreciate everything you are saying, and I guess I just need to, you know, when I started, I had a certain I guess vision of the business and the way I thought or I wanted it to be. So it's a matter of pivoting and trying something else. But I did want to say, I don't know if you mentioned, Tracy, but yours, what you do sounds amazing, and I don't know if I missed the words boosting self-esteem, because that's just such a huge thing with women, where they're always putting themselves down. And something like a haircut just makes, you know, a special, or a nail polish or something just boosts them. But the glasses would be just, you know, the next level up.
And I think, Tracy, you've really got a corner of the market there. And when I think about you and your business, you are so owning it. And it's exciting. You know, when I went and looked at your Instagram, I went, oh my gosh, this girl is just going guns, great guns here. And I appreciate that you find that video, you know, a bit of a step. But my prediction is that once you've got comfortable, there will be no stopping you. So you can either choose to take a year to get comfortable, or you can choose to take 2 weeks.
Do you know what it is? I don't even know how to, you know, like I've had help with the 1 or 2 things that you've seen on Instagram because somebody helped me with it. But for me to start a video, I don't even know how to press live. I don't even know what I'm doing technology-wise.
Sure. But you will only learn if you do. That's why I've set up our Facebook group for you to press live in there and just go for it. You've got 8 women in there who were there to support you. You could set up your own group and do it and practice in that as well. But I think that you end up being your worst critic in that scenario.
I think I would. Because I criticize myself heavily.
Exactly. So when you're actually pressing live on something in a group like that, and timing yourself, you know, you've got your timer there, you've got 3 things that you really want to speak about, and you've got other keywords written up. Breathe is a really good one. Pause is another really good one, that, you know, breathe and pause. Smile. There are some words that, you know, just you can have around the outside of your computer that just reminds you, and you just speak to that. And you just think of one person in our group of 8. Just choose one person and you speak to that person. Don't say their name, but just speak to that person and have a go at talking to them about their, you know, about their choice of glasses and what, you know, I don't know, whatever you choose to say. And Nicola, the same, you know, that would just be a wonderful opportunity to say, I'm just going to do it. And honestly, like I just said to you, Tracy, you can think about taking a year to do it, or you can do it in 2 weeks. I tell you, I'd take 2 weeks. And you
can, no pressure.
No, because it's hard. get you and we love you, and you know, just it's a great group to do it. It's a great, you know, we're all in that same boat of really trying to conquer that. But it is at the top of the algorithm. It really is. And if you want more eyes on your business, there's a whole bunch of other things, and we haven't really got there. But you know, when you are passionate about something and you're writing that blog, and I think I spoke to you about that the other day, you know, talking into the notes in your phone and then sending it off, getting it all transcribed, it comes back to you, pick pieces out, put it in a blog, and then go on camera. I mean, this could be something you could do on your social media. I've just written this blog. I'm so passionate about this particular topic, and just, you know, give one or two quotes from it. If you want more, go head over there and read it, you know, and you've just created this, you've told people why you believe it, why you're passionate about it, and people buy into that. Love it.
Yeah. Okay. Just need to get brave on that. Like, I've got a friend, he's really technology, and I don't understand blogs, I don't understand lives. I mean, I'm 57. When I started this business, I'm like, Facebook? You know, what's all that about? Instagram? I'm like, shit. You know.
Well, my suggestion, Tracy, if you've come this far and you've done really well with the systems you've got, then you might just need a bit of tweaking and a little bit of teaching in this area. You know, then go with that. Don't think you have to do it all and have it all. But if your systems are serving you, great. You might need to keep an eye on the future if you really want to grow your business. And my thinking is that you will. Then you might need to get someone to help you. Always delegate. If you don't see yourself doing it, find someone. They're out there. They are there.
I have asked for help. So there's Kelly from Sensi, and she's awesome. She does lives all the time, and she's just a natural. And she collaborates with my business as well, because I invite her up to my when I do my weekend events. And I have small businesses along with me, so that it's nice to help them as well.
Yes.
So I do that.
People love seeing businesses support each other, because they go, oh, that person's just being greedy. They're really, you know, they're quite caring, and they, you know, there's just a great vibe that puts off.
Yeah, and it is good to help each other. So when but Kelly is just awesome at doing all that sort of thing. So she's going to help me and show me what to do, and hopefully I'll be able to do something in the future, and get a little bit less waffling and nervous about it, but we'll see.
That's exactly it. I'm conscious of time, so I wanted to just hit on a couple of the different, you know, you understand, you girls are up with engagement, education, values, and the CTA, call to action or asking for something.
Yes.
Are you aware of that, different types of posts? So one of the best ways to get engagement is around holidays, you know, special days, whether they're personal to you, to your animals, Nicola, or to your family, Tracy, whatever. You know, international days, Australian days, whatever they might be, even you know, anniversaries or deaths or whatever. Just keeping that in mind. Like, for instance, Kelly, I just noticed, put out a post tonight that spoke to the Afghan situation, and go and find her on social media, because she writes fabulous posts, and she also does she also does lives and you know, video posts. But the one that she wrote tonight was she just went, right, I'm jumping on, and I know that the post she wrote is something that she's written before, but she's obviously rehashed it and put it into this post because it's pertinent right now with the Afghan situation.
Yeah.
Education is another one. So that's where you are talking about your product, but it's more about how that product fits usually, and the solution it brings. Always keep that in mind. What's in it for them? And what's in it for them is an answer to is a solution to their problem. All right. So always keep that in mind. You know, your values, and, you know, you girls have thrown lots of values out tonight, plus you wrote them in your pieces that you sent to me. But, you know, what are people going to expect from you when they come into your orbit? Because that's what you really need. And what you wrote to me is what you really want to be putting out. because then people know, hey, I really want authenticity. I really want someone who values communication, because that's something that you've talked about. So they come to you because they know that you're going to follow it up and do all that stuff. So, you know, talk to them. And then the last one is asking, making sure that you share what's going on, you comment on what people are doing, you're asking for advice, you bought something, you want to show how great it is, your friends bought something, or whatever, you know, you're supporting other businesses. So they're just four different types of posts. And today I emailed you 60 content ideas for your social media. They've got some pretty good things in there, maybe some things that you haven't even done, Tracy.
Well, you're suggesting I've done a lot. I'm like,
I think you've done well.
oh.
And then there's the one here that we wrote for you guys to use, and, you know, use it if you do want to. It's this one here, social media plan. Oh, hang on, you can't see what I'm seeing, can you?
No.
I haven't shared my screen. That wasn't very clever. Hang on, I'll just come back to the screen here. Hang on a minute. Share screen. Share screen and share. Here we go. So who can share? All panelists. Yep, that's great. I'll get rid of that. You're still with me, aren't you, girls?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Here we go. Right. Social media plan. We were talking before about that whole idea of planning for a month. So one of our themes, I think next month is it trust? I think trust is up next month. So we will come up with a bunch of posts. One of us is the lead in our business, because there's two of us, obviously. One of us is a lead writer, and we just put together like a paragraph about that word trust and how it relates to our business, and, you know, what we can kind of spin off from that. And then we will come to this where I will actually provide the dates here on the left, the type of post that we need. Mondays is a bit of an education post. Sundays is an inspirational post, and so on. We've got these different formula, and that just works for us. Who we're targeting, and that's also in line. We use it in line with which groups we're working with at that time, around that time. The content that we're going to do, and who's posting it. So it's either myself or Kelly at the moment, when we got anyone else on board at this stage. So that's just an idea. Putting your, you know, even if you handwrite that and then type it in, or you take it and turn it into like a document that you can type in, whatever. So that's one option. And the other thing I wanted to bring to your attention was this, where, and I don't think I'm going to be able to help you too much. I've tried to make it. Oh, there we go. Can you see that?
Oh, yeah.
So that's the different platforms, but particularly between Facebook and Instagram, and then Twitter. Now, you know, I think, Nicola, you've got some amazing groups that you could be focusing on, you know, your market. But like I said to you in that second workshop we did the other day, you know, come up with your ideal client first. Speak to your ideal client, because you're actually qualifying your client by the content you put online. So if you have a client that you want to speak to that's, you know, quite professional, and, you know, has these beautiful dogs or cats that they come home to at night and really, really cares about their animals, okay, let's just say, then you might find them on Twitter. You're going to find them on other platforms as well, but you might find them on Twitter. Just saying, as an idea. And the other one hiding under here, because my face is there, is LinkedIn. Of course, that's another one, you know, for a professional set. But you can see that Facebook, right, has a huge amount of the population, particularly female.
In your opinion, should you stick to, say, 2 of those? Because that's what I'm seeing everywhere. You know, don't try and spread yourself thin, etc., etc. So I've stuck to Facebook and Instagram. But what you've just said makes a lot of sense. You know, with the other platforms, I just don't want to spread myself.
No, and you raise a really good point. So once you've done your research on your market and niching down in your market, then it's the going into that market, wherever they sit in the market, wherever they're hanging out, that's where you go to. Now, the fact that you've got Instagram and Facebook under your belt and you know those, brilliant. and they don't take as much energy. Like, for instance, I've been Facebook for such a long time. I'm only now just going over into Instagram. So that's a whole lot of learning for me. I've dabbled in Twitter, never done LinkedIn, but my market is predominantly on Facebook. And so I'm not too phased about not knowing Instagram as well as I could. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to give yourself slack, and you've got to be able to do this in a way, like we talked about in the beginning of yesterday's talk, in a way that is not going to leave you exhausted and, you know, giving it up in 3 months.
Can you send me this through? Because it's it's quite interesting for me, because the age groups are what I'm interested in, because 40s and up, well, 45 and up really is a different market to the younger market for me, especially when it comes to multifocal lenses. So it's quite interesting. I had no idea about this, by the way. So it's quite interesting, because I've just started on LinkedIn, just sharing the post from Facebook to LinkedIn. And it's interesting that the group on LinkedIn is actually the older market.
Yes.
Whereas Instagram is the younger market.
Very much so.
Yeah. So that's Twitter. I'm like, oh, yeah, maybe later, but not quite now. But
that's the point. You're not going to bring in more business by opening up your net. It just doesn't work like that. You have to be specific and attract to you the person that you really want to work with. And
exactly.
That's what you've got to be really clear about, because it's no good people coming to you that are just not your people. That really is, you know, that doesn't mean that you're not going to serve, and of course you'll serve whoever, but there's a place and a space where we work better when we just have that affinity with a type of person that we get on well with. And
it's how, when you're writing as well, I guess, too.
That's
the lingo.
Find out who they are, what they do, what stage of life they're at. You know, and niche down as much as you can and speak to that person, and go from there.
No, that's interesting. I love that.
Nicola, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. Yeah, I'm listening to Tracy. I'm actually thinking, Tracy, I think I said this to you the other day, before and afters. If you've got anyone that can, you know, let you take their photo before and after, people love seeing things on the, as opposed to just a photo of glasses. I'm not sure what your feed looks like. I haven't looked at it, but they love to see other people's
results.
Other people's results. That's right.
I have done that a couple of times. Not everybody's willing to show what they look like before, because once they get the new glasses, and it does make such a difference, then they just want to post everywhere how stunning they look in the new glasses. So sometimes they're not as forthcoming, let's say, and not everybody wants to give me a photograph, and I have to ask them to send it, because it's respectful, and they've got to be happy with what they've taken to send it to me. But there is a couple of posts on my website that you can see where I did manage to get a couple of ladies to send me a before, and one particular lady who I coaxed her into having a very brightly coloured orange frame, because colours can make you look younger. It was incredible change from what she were to what she is now, and she's now a radio presenter, by the way. The confidence has just gone wow. That's
great. Can I make a suggestion, Nicola? I don't know whether this might help you, but you know, there's a lot to be said about collaborating with someone to help you with your social media. And, you know, often we're better at helping someone else than we are ourselves. We're better at ideas for them than we are ideas for ourselves.
I totally agree with that.
So it might be worth, you know, in that group, that Facebook group, reaching out and saying, does anyone want to do a little bit of a, you know, it's almost like a bit of a mastermind, but it's a hotspot. Let's spend half an hour on each other's businesses and really help each other with ideas.
Do that.
And
Nicola, if you want... if you want to get, I'm just thinking that because it's been a learning curve for me, and you know, a big one over the last few months. If you want to get together so I can go through my journey of where I was to where I am now, I'm more than happy to meet up and sit down and show you what I was doing initially and how it changed and how I managed to get that reach. I mean, I was blown away.
That sounds great. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that.
I think it's fabulous, and it would be really great also, Tracy, if you thought about the key points and putting them into a Facebook Live in the group.
Oh, gold. Steady on now.
And you're talking to Nicola and just, you know.
Maybe, oh God, I don't know. Maybe I'll get interviewed first or something. I have done an interview with someone, and I was, you could tell I was really nervous, and I was, but that was quite a while ago. But maybe I'd do it as an interview first, and then at least somebody's asking me the questions and prompting me rather than me losing my way. And
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And like we said the other day at the workshop, you don't go any further than you want to go. That's it. But you know yourself. So give yourself a challenge, whether it's just whatever it is, just give yourself a challenge and try and meet that challenge in the context of someone who's around to support you and give you some really, you know, good encouragement.
Yeah, you're great, by the way. I think you're fantastic. It's just coming to the course the other day and just these. It's just, for me, I didn't know. I'm fumbling along thinking, am I doing okay? Is it all right? And you've just given me the confidence to keep doing what I'm doing, and thank you for that. I appreciate that.
That's my greatest joy right there.
Yeah, I agree. Very inspiring, you and Kelly.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell Kelly that. Look, we do love what we do, and we'd love to do. Well, we're just going to keep going and doing more of it.
Yeah, please do.
No, absolutely. We're still waiting to hear from the Digital Solutions Group, but hopefully it's, you know, any day now. But as soon as it is, the email will hit your inbox, and you know, sign on the dotted line, and we will, you know, be scheduling, you know, one-on-ones, and that'll be great, because that's where the two of us will individually with each of you just be able to get into the, you know, the real grassroots of where you're at, and set some goals, set some challenges, set some you know, thoughts, intentions for going forward, and you know, just look at it. It'll be great. It'll be really exciting.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds awesome.
Yeah.
No, thanks. I mean, Kate, I don't know how everyone else is, because most of the people were service-based businesses, which to me presents, you know, its own set of challenges. And I would say that their businesses are definitely revolving around them. And here Tracy and I are, you know, having to put ourselves out there as well. And we're doing a product, but it just goes to show, like Tracy's been saying, that whether it's product or service, you've got to put yourself out there.
I've just had an idea, Nicola, and it's only an idea. So, you know that for me, it's like a custom-made product, because I customize lenses. It's not just about you bring the prescription. I actually have a lab in WA that I work with to make sure that lens is the best clarity for that prescription for that person. With that in mind, one thing I'm hearing about your product is that it's unique, and that it's a special product to care for their little pooches, their babies. Can you have like bookings with people that you can go out and listen to what they're saying their particular dog's needs are, and then you've got stories that you can tell about how you've made that baby of theirs diet so much better, and they're not sick anymore, and they don't, you know, go running to the toilet anymore. And then you've got like a story to tell, as in what changes you've made to that dog's life and to mum's life. And it's just an idea that maybe you can take your product out there.
Well, that's are you talking about reviews? Because that's what I wanted people to do, is to
But
send
meet
me,
them in person.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the some of the product I sell is over east. I mean, some is here, but yeah,
All
I
right.
suppose
Well, you don't have to.
meet
don't
them
have
in
to tell us
person
the
is
answer now.
possibly, but reviews is actually a very difficult thing to get. Which might be, linked kind of to what you've been saying. So
Unless you create a loyal customer base, Nicola, they will come as you create relationship. And that's possibly an area that we can really focus on in the one-to-ones, is how can you create relationship? How can you put yourself into a place where you are building that community, and not only just building community around, the solution that you're bringing, but also so that you're engaging with that community and having conversations and, conversations which lead to obviously loyalty from the customer side of things, but also just good relationship that you can call on and say, look, thanks for telling me that about how great, Scooby Poochie's going. Do you mind putting it into something for me? I don't mind what it is. And you're going to be the extrovert who goes, yeah, I'll put it on camera. And then you'll get the introverted and say, I'll just write it. Thanks very much. Doesn't matter.
It's such a hard thing, and people buy, a lot of people buy based on reviews.
Sure.
So, maybe if you've got hints and tricks to try and get people to, I mean, even Tracy's trying, it would be worth gold, to get people reviewing your product, sending you photos.
Yes.
Maybe get them to send photos of their dogs now. So you're taking an interest in their dog, and then take a photo when they're improved.
And a competition, Nicola, a competition always works really well. Who wants to enter their fur baby into, combine it with a special day that's coming up. Haven't we got a long weekend coming up, and isn't it the Queen's birthday? Is it?
Not till the end of September, possibly.
You can imagine a competition that starts in September, which is all about the right, your royal dogs, or your royal, it's some sort of photo or enhanced photo or picture with a hat on, or I don't know, something royal. And then from there, someone wins, they win some product, and you're on your way to, documenting that dog. I don't know, but there as Tracy's saying, there are a lot of possibilities, and it might just involve a bit of a round table, a bit of a get a hot seat, and go from there. But look, ladies, I'm aware of time. I don't want to keep you any longer. You guys make this connection, but also in the Facebook group, just put lots of things in there as well, and because the other people
thanks, Kate.
Thank you.
So, Tracy, I'll contact you via Facebook, and Kate, thank you for your time and your input.
Amazing.
Well,
I sent you that email, so have a look at that stuff. Those content ideas, Nicola, will probably trigger something. There's a lot of those around, but you really want those, whatever you're going to do, whatever content you put out there, you want it supporting that, that pedestal statement that you believe in, and then everything falls under that.
Okay, great.
All righty.
Sounds good.
All right, girls, lovely chatting, and I won't see you tomorrow night, of course, because we're not on tomorrow night, but like I said to you, look out for the email for the Digital Solutions 7-hour pathway, and we'll be seeing you again.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Good night.
Bye. Bye.